Hey guys, got to finish up my service on this 1526. Today we're going to do the transmission. I did an oil video on it not long ago. Well, yeah, I guess it was quite a while ago, 150 hours ago. We're going to do the transmission today. I don't know if you can see this yellow bolt here. Hell is it? I can't see it in the camera. Yeah, there it is, right up underneath there. There it is. All right, we got one on each side. There's a divot here. You'll feel it. We'll start with those two. We're going to do this main internal filter, which is here as well. Okay, it's been a while since it's been under here. Anyway, here's our transmission filter. Where's it at? Oh yeah, there it is, right there. It's the internal filter. Now I've done this one at 50 hours too, and we had a whole lot of metal shavings in it and whatnot. But we're going to drain everything out of her, and I'll show you that internal filter. And we're going to piecemeal this video together. My camera doesn't like to record a whole lot anymore. I guess she's old like me, but anyway, about 318 hours. We're going to do a transmission flush, and we'll walk you through this. Okay guys, I don't know if it's old school wrench or not, but anyway, this is what I'm using to pull off my filter here. I'll show you the new filter. This is a new filter. Get the part number if you need it. I don't know yet, you know, what cross-reference these numbers have to other parts. I mean, you know, went and got these from my dealer. I got the whole set, and you know, my oil filter, my fuel filters. Fuel filter definitely needed changing. So anyway, I've done that on the last one. But all right, we're going to strap down this transmission filter and pull her off, and I'll walk you through this. Okay, I had to set that down. I couldn't do that with one hand, but man, once it starts, it's awesome. All right. Now, if you'd done this back one first, you wouldn't have this oil dripping on your ass like I do, but I do everything backwards, so it's not uncommon for me. I'd have pulled the back ones first, you know, whatever. Alright. Now, I guess you can see how this is. Now, this doesn't screw in. I thought it did, but it's got just a pop-out thing. So we'll knock it loose. I'll get my little hammer. We'll tap it loose, but if you feel it, you'll feel what I mean. It doesn't actually screw in and screw out. I thought it did, but it's got a seal on it. All right, guys, I gotta cut this off. Okay. All right, now. I actually may have wanted to do these in reverse, but anyway. Remember, now we got one on each side. Now when I first slid this filter back in here, it was a little difficult to push in. So I used the base of my hammer like so, and then I hit the head of it with my hand. I didn't bang against it, and it popped right in. The second thing is this thing has a little rounded groove here. Feel that when you go to thread your screw in, because mine was not lined up perfect, and it's a good way to strip your screw. So I took my pliers, and it turns real easy once it's broke loose, and you can line it right up. So that screw should go in very easy. So if you've got to fight that screw, you've got something off. All right, let me tighten this up. All right, these new filters, and my big thing is I've got an issue with torquing it properly. I've got one of those guys that I just, you know, let's hurry up and get it done. And I screw up sometimes, but most time not. Most time not. Most time not. My wife just come out and said, "You got enough transmission fluid?" I said, "Probably not." So I haven't done the front axles yet, you know. Realize this something here puts a lot of torque. You can't move that now. A lot of torque now. I'd recommend after 2 or 3 days of driving, make sure you look up under here and that you got everything closed up. You got no leaks. Because once you got this oil leaking and you don't know it, check that fluid religiously. Alright, now you got to put the back bolts in. Remember though, your back bolts have seals, little gaskets on them. I didn't replace these. Mine are good. I do a lot of hours on my tractor. I gotta cut this off, guys. We're gonna stick these 2 bolts in, one here and one on the opposite side. Just remember your little divot. Probably has a yellow mark. My other side pretty much wore off, or it didn't have it on to start with. But anyway, make sure that your little seals here, your little gaskets, are solid, not cracked or anything. If they are, and you better get you some gaskets. I didn't video this part, but this is your plug where you put in your transmission fluid. Okay, it pops right out. Okay, pops right back in. I use a long filter to put it in. Now I will say this though, because I didn't use the quarters, the quart cans, it's kind of hard to see how much you got in it. Yeah, I mean, exactly, you know, you gotta be, it's hard to tell exactly. So be careful not to overfill or underfill. I've got it where I think it should be, so I'm going to run it just a little bit. If it's a little low, it's not going to kill it. But you got to make sure, check it. Now I'm going to hold off on my front. Your front's though, you know, 150 hours to check it, 300 to change it. I don't use them 4-wheel drive a whole lot, so, but I'll add that as part 2 of this video. Doing my overall look around here. That's what I discovered this morning. Come out, check my fluid. You can tell it's a missing bolt, not just an accessory hole. I went ahead and took this bolt out and went to the store, and all I could find was some that were a bit too long, so I cut it off and to make it fit. I was just curious as to why none of these had lock washers on them. I mean, this is into your frame here, and every one of them was not up to torque spec. I couldn't even find a torque spec in my book. I found it in another book. These 8.8s or 88s is 65 pounds. But yeah, make sure you check all your stuff, man. Make sure she's tight.